There we go. Takes a minute to get the camera in place. Hello, hello. Let me just... The camera might wiggle for just a second, but that's okay. I'm just trying to get it set in the best place, and then we'll get started in just a few minutes. I am going to invite a few people to join the group. Oh, hi, Kathy. Hello, Melissa. Nice to have you ladies here. This mouse is acting so odd. It just doesn't want to hold still. There. Sharing a group. Okay. Okay. And I'm adding a few more groups. Let me turn that volume down. I don't need to hear myself repeat constantly. I'm getting to that right now, Mr. Cunliffe.
Oh, there it is.
You got it?
Yeah.
I'm excited tonight because we're going to add 3 of my favorite products together and make this project, which I kind of thought looked a little bit like flames. Maybe it's coming from a volcano. And I've never got to stamp with the dragons either from Lavinia. So I'm excited to do that. Had them for quite a while actually. And I thought I should use these. I love bright, brilliant cards. I've never been much of a pastel type of person. The heavier the pigment, the better. I'm almost done sharing, so we will get started real shortly. Hello to everyone that's able to join us. Let me just run by. There's Melissa and Lynette. Nice to meet you. And there's my husband, Jim. He's going to help us a little bit today, keeping me on track with time, making sure I don't miss any messages. That group, oh, there it is. The group wasn't showing up. Hi, Huddy. Kathy, you're funny. So I do these because number one, I definitely like to share what I create. And number two, I used to teach some classes and I don't get to get out and do that anymore. So I really think it's fun to, you know, sit and have a cup of coffee and watch and learn a few tips and tricks together with women and men, doesn't make any difference, that enjoy the same thing that I do. We do a lot of giggling around here. I have 3 puppy dogs. A lot of people know that already. But we have trains. Lots of things that can interrupt, but we do what we can. And last but not least, let's put this in card making. That's a lovely new group I just joined the other day, and they do allow the Facebook Live, so I think that's nice. When you find a Facebook group that has the ability to do a lot of sharing, because there's nothing funner than watching somebody actually just get down and create something. I'm going to share to my page as well. Handmade by TLC is the name of the page that I carry. Unfortunately, I've had the page too long and Facebook won't let me change it to TLC Designs, like the name of the store. TLCdesigns.shop is my store. And they won't let me change it. And trying to get a new one just wouldn't be worth it. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it Handmade by TLC. It is me still. So we're going to get started here. Sounds like your house. It's busy, isn't it? Okay, so I have done Lavinia backgrounds with Distress ink. I used oxides. I've used, what is that other, color box with VersaFine Clear, but I haven't used the brushes, and I'm not sure if it was Tracy, the woman that runs Lavinia Stamps, or not, that was doing them with the brushes, but I haven't worked with them yet, and I thought it might be very nice to just try and create something that uses them and see, you know, try the different inks that you have. Sometimes getting mediums out is the last thing from our mind, but sometimes it can make a big difference. This one turned out really well. We're going to try and redo this same image with you all and assemble the double dial die as well together so that everybody understands how I did it. And then please, if there's any questions while I'm doing it, or if you have the dies with me, some people might be a little intimidated with the double dial die, but it's really simple, and I'll show you how to do that. So the double dial die is a design that I created. It comes in a set with 8 dies, the frame with a cutoff corner for the dial, and it has the dial itself, which I cut 2 because you're going to want some extra strength. This is just paper and it's interactive and people use it a lot. It's really fun to use. But 2 always makes a big difference. And then it has a few different sized, what I call washers, because paper on paper will slide and work better than paper on the brads, because they're metal. So I use washers in there, and you get 4 different sizes of those. And then you get this arm, which this is the arm that you use for the curved slot. This is the arm that's going to make the other slot move. This is what's great about the double dial die. You got 2 pieces of movement on the card at the same time, and it's got endless uses. A bunny rabbit jumping into a basket, or a frog jumping on a lily pad, or I mean, just for any occasion. It's really fun and interactive and easy to use. It comes with full instructions. We're going to follow these when it's time to assemble. But full instructions on the back, so if you don't understand any of it, You turn the die back over and it shows you exactly how to restart, and there's 4 steps and you're done. So having said all of that, let's just quickly, I can kind of tell that this is the multifarious paper. This is a brand that I found through Lavinia. Holds a lot of water, works really well with the stamps, holds a ton of ink, and it's really smooth, so you get a real solid, good print impression. And it is a little bit whiter. This is the multifarious that we're going to color on, and this is just 110 pound Neenah cardstock. And basically I cut 2 arms, 1 out of each, just for the strength. I'm going to put the multifarious over the Neenah 120. Here's that one, and then we're going to do the same thing to combine the wheel. This is just a little bit of prep work prior to getting to the coloring. I'm going to make the project, like I said, from start to finish. It might be a little bit long. I'm going to try and keep the video moving so that we don't lose too much interest. I cut 2 large ones for the back of the arms, and then the images that I am going to put up and down are tiny. Hi, Connie! I hope you got my email. The images that I'm going to put on the slider are very tiny, so Connie's my friend. She's from church, and she moved to Traverse City, and we don't get to see each other very much anymore, but we try and keep in contact as often as possible. I hope she got her card, that kitty cat card I made last week. I sent to her, so I don't know if she's got it or not yet. Here's the images. I stamped them out on multifarious paper, and I fussy cut around them, and as you can tell, let's see if I can find the name of these real quick. These are some of the stamps we're going to be using tonight. By the way, if you have any of them, you know, follow along and stamp it. Dragon set. Now you can see on here there's no fairies, but I have the little baby fairies in a set of stamps as well, and I just stamped them. This one is on the back end of the tail of the dragon. Now you can see this is really thin. I've got something going on with my fingernail that's going to make me nuts. You can see it's very thin on the edges, and here's a tip, ladies. What I do about that in order to strengthen it is I use glossy accents, and I turn the images over. Doesn't look so pretty on the other side, but it doesn't matter. And wherever the thinnest lines are, I put some glossy accents on it, and what you can see is this is like solid. And it really helps hold the images together. Here's the other little dragon that I used, and you can see I added a fairy sitting.
She hasn't got the card yet.
She doesn't? Well, you should be getting it very soon. It's that wobble card that I've been posting all about from 7 Kids Crafts. It's her first set of stamps, and it's kitty cats, and it's your favorite. So I made that just for you. Anyway, I'm sorry, the fairy is sitting on here, and she's been decorated a little bit, and I'm not going to decorate another one and fussy cut these with you tonight. I'm just going to reuse these. When I made this card last night, I used them on top of it, and you know, I did a little video and showed how to do all that so that when I posted on my blog. But we will reuse these today on the project that we're going to create together, so that'll be good. And then maybe at some point in time I'll make another one. Alright, so we have doubled and applied those together. We stamped some of these the other day and used the glossy accents on the back of it to reinforce the thinness of it. Let's put the frame together. This one is the multifarious. I can tell because it's a little whiter. I love the tape dots that are little blue dots, because when you have a frame or some kind of a intricate cut on the edges of your topper, you don't have to worry about getting that regular tape runner out of all of the little holes. I don't know if any of you have ever run across that, but that's another tip. If you're going to use a die cut that has intricate little cuts in it, see if you can't get a permanent, this is just Elmer's, and it's a permanent dot tape roller. It helps me a lot. I use it when I do these. Okay. You want to make sure you cover all the edges, and you can even get super close to the slots because they're just little dots of glue. It's not going to interfere. A little bit of movement, and that's, we've got it done. Okay. If I can get it up, there you go. My nail file. So let's get the brushes out real quick, and I'll show you what I did with them. I have this set, 12 colors. And the first color that I used last night was Scarlet. And then I did a yellow. Let's see if I can find it. Lemon. Make sure I don't have a different yellow. Oh, here, I just use yellow, not lemon. Those are the two colors that I used on the card. I did all of the reds down here and all of the yellows down here. Then I kind of dabbled with a little bit of the purples and put them very lightly in a few spots. So let me see if I can find which. There, purple. These are very strong powdered inks, ladies, so you do not need a lot of this ink. I'll show you real quick on the screen. I'm just going to tap. We're going to grab, might want to spread that out a little bit. Wait till you see how much that makes. I mean, it's a lot. Grab one of my little mini misters. You can see how much ink that actually has on it. Isn't that awesome? So I'm gonna, huh?
I'm talking Chris.
Hi, Tammy. Oh, Arabella's catnapping, awesome. Vancouver, Canada. Hi, Eileen. Okay, so we're gonna just turn this upside down and dab this into the ink. I have quite a bit of water on there, but I love when it pools a little bit. Not inside that little, there. When it pools just a little, I'm going to use the dryer. Sorry about the noise, ladies. The objective here was to kind of look like flames or a volcano, so we're just going to dry this a little. And then we're going to dip it again. Pick up a little bit more of that ink. Oops. Flipping it around everywhere. That looks really good though. Look at how it smears over to the side. I love that. We're sort of drying at the same time as we're adding another layer, which is key because you're going to get that layered look with brushes. You're drying it a little bit and then adding a deeper rich red in specific little dots. So we're going to get that on there. And you can see with the heat gun that a little bit of that is lifting away from the bottom. It's okay. That's fine. Because once it cools off, this heat gun is warm. Once it cools off though, awesome. The glue will reconstitute. It will stick back on there. Just get that dried. Nice, nice. Okay, now y'all can hear me again. Who is that? Hello, Lamia. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Nice to have you here. Hi, Eileen. Oh, she's the one from Vancouver. That's awesome. I'm glad you could join us. I'm using just a regular baby wipe to get that ink off the table. It really does help. And then I have some paper towels over here just to dry it up before we put the pattern back down, or the piece down. Okay, so we have a little bit of volcano action on the bottom. Then we're going to use just slight taps of the ink, the powdered ink, the brush soap. And I'm going to use less water this time so I get a little bit more pigment. I want to add a little bit more. Yellow didn't seem to be quite as lively as the red. Okay, so we're just going to put this down. Yeah, see, I need more water. I bet if I put the water on here, it'll spread. Let's see. I love playing. Okay, there's the yellow. I see you now. We're going to dry this because I love it when it gets dark in one little section. Hang on, let me put this down. My heat dryer was trapped around the light I have up here. Love it. Okay, let's get this dry. See what I have on here. And get this little puddle dried up. I do have another spot over here that I want to get. Sorry about the noise, ladies. I'll be done right shortly. There we go. I'm going to flip this card over and just heat it up a little bit on the other side. I'm going to wipe this yellow off. I love red and yellow. I love orange. It's my favorite color. So, alright. This is what we have so far. I'm going to make sure that that adhesive lines up again. There we go. With any watercolor, anytime you add water to paper, you're going to get a little bit of a bend. So just unbend it. Fold it the opposite way that it's bending. Not too much, just a little. There. I like it. Okay, now I found that because I added so much purple with the VersaFine Clear last night, that it needed just a little bit of purple up toward the sun. So this is just purple brush up. Going to constitute it with some water. Now see, that purple's really rich, isn't it? Not like that yellow. I couldn't. So we're just going to dab and dab there. Awesome. Love it. Okay. Kathy likes the purple. I do too. It kind of just adds a little bit more flavor to the card. Okay. We're dry, but it's pretty warm. cool off, make the glue re-stick. I suppose it wouldn't be that big of a deal to just go ahead and color it before you glue it to the bottom section, but it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, so I found in my stash the other day some of this pearl. I don't know what brand it is. I wish I could tell you, ladies, but I don't know. It's a pearly water spritzer. And all I'm going to do is spritz the card from this far, probably about 6 inches. Spritz it and then dry it up. So the entire card is going to have, and I'll show you up close in a second when I get it dry, it's going to have a super pretty glitter effect. I don't know if any of you ladies work with cryogen Copic paper, but it's got that little shimmer in it. And this is what this is doing to this card, just adding a base shimmer. Not that I don't go in later and add glitter, because I do, but every single color, every single little corner, every single space on here is just going to shimmer. Just adds to the majestic feel of the project that I'm creating with these dragons. Huh? Oh, do you? She has a product named Shimmers. This is in a bottle that came from the optometrist to clean your lenses. So I, ladies, cannot tell you what product that is, but I've had it in my drawer and I found it last night and I thought might as well try and use it, and it turned out beautiful. So whatever kind of shimmer, liquid shimmer that you might have would work perfect, as long as it doesn't add like a gritty feel to your card, because remember, we're sliding on here, so it has to have a test it on something else first and see that it has a very smooth feel to it afterward. Now I'm holding the card up as close to the camera as I can to see if maybe you ladies can get a good view of how much this is shimmering. Let's see if I can't catch it. Oh, there's a little bit on the top you can see, but it's throughout the whole card. Hi, Kathy. Can you see that glitter? Huh?
It might be kind of hard to tell through the
Yeah,
camera.
but I wanted them to see that, you know, as much of it as they could, but thanks. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is stamping, which is a really fun part of this process. The stamps that we're going to use today, now there's Lavinia World is going to be carrying the double dial die, and she has it up in the store right now, so if you love to shop at Lavinia World, she has it. 7 Kids Crafts might have a few. They are selling and sold out practically, so if you are a 7 Kids admirer, they sell the double dial as well. But the stamps that I'm using today are Dragon Set, Birds, Mystic Swirl, Mushroom Lantern Set, which I think this is a new one. This one was really fun. And the Big Dragon, Mideela. She's the one, I think it's a she. She's coming out of the flames. I love her. She's scary and awesome at the same time. She just looks like she is in charge and makes all the rules. In this little fairy scene that I'm making, she's definitely in charge. Okay. So I am going to use the Mini Misty, at least for her, because there's nothing worse than trying to put an image down that doesn't come out completely black like you'd like it. I mean, there are ways to fix it when it does happen, And it usually doesn't happen at all when I'm doing the foliage and things like that, but something that's as large as she is. I mean, she is in charge of this card. You can see she's almost the same size as the card. So we're going to place her so her wings are this way, but the majority of her tail does show up. You're only going to be missing this little part right here, and I want to get her claws completely on the project like I did last night. So we will put it there. Okay. I think I forgot to mention, when you cut your frame, if you use this frame, you can take this mechanism portion and use it on any card. I've done several YouTube videos showing you ladies how to do that. It's not a big deal. But if you want to use it in this card, put a piece of tape, pop this mechanism in the frame, and put a piece of tape or something, washi tape. I use this, it's not painter's tape, it's like crafter's tape. And tape the mechanism to the frame. So then you can make as many copies of it as you want, and you can see here there is a teeny tiny bit of wiggle room, and you don't want it to change when you're making a frame that is double, and you're going to want it to be exactly the same. So do that when you create that. I just forgot that I hadn't mentioned that. So we're going to pop this down. I got everything on there. I like how that looks. Okay, we're going to pick her up, and then we're going to definitely use VersaFine Clear, and the name is Nocturne. It's fine detail ink. I take the ink pad down to the stand, completely cover this stamp, so you can see where there's pieces that aren't covered. You don't want to see any of that. These are, after all, silhouette stamps, but some of them, like a lot of the fairies, have really fine detail in them. But if you hold your stamp pad real level, you won't. What?
Eileen says that's all women.
We're going to do that, and then if a portion of it, after you hold it on there real good, let some of that soak in. Remember, you have 2 or 3 different layers of ink and stuff already down on your topper. So
I've
this.
Never seen a dice before. She's going to Google it as soon as possible.
Oh, well, I have it in my store as well. TLCdesigns.shop. It is very easy to use, really, really fun. I don't ship worldwide. I did open it up just recently to, I think it was Canada, wasn't it, James?
Yeah, so.
Thinking seriously about Alaska, but right now it's US and Canada. 7 Kids ships worldwide, and I'm nearly positive that Lavinia World ships worldwide.
Which means Eileen can get it.
Eileen can get it, yeah.
Can you send me the link for your site?
Let me see if I can get on there. Let me go to the store, pick up the link.
Eileen sends clapping hands.
That's good. I like it when people are happy. Copy. Let me put it on there. Hi, Ian. Let me paste and hit enter. There's my store, ladies. And then here is.
Awesome, thanks.
Sure.
Kathy says thank you also.
Sure thing. I aim to please. We are here to find the coolest stuff and play with it. It's just my personal opinion. I love making dies. I have a lot of dies in the works. Actually, I got approval on 3 of them, and I've had price quotes on 9 more. So This year's going to be really super busy. But it's going to be really fun. I have a lot of sets coming out. This may release, by the way, ladies, may not come out on the 1st, only because the 1st is tomorrow. And
carry the powders.
Do I carry the brush-os? No, I don't.
Powders.
Huh?
Powders.
Yeah, the powder is the brush-os, James. No, I don't carry brush-os. I don't carry anything but some digitals, some papers, and the double dial die right now. I just opened this store in January, so we are up and running, and I am learning how to send out, you know, emails, notices, things like that. Oh, I'm really happy with that now. That's perfect. Okay. So, but I don't carry the brush-os, but check those other 2 stores. I am almost positive that Lavinia World carries them. I do not know if they're at 7 Kids. Maybe one of the other ladies that's on with me right now that works with 7 Kids closer can take a peek. And thank you. I've been creating products for 10 or 11 years now. The difference is it was always for somebody else. So, I'm in Michigan. I've always been doing it for somebody else, and that limits your creativity, I feel, because you don't necessarily get to make what you like, you get to make what they like. And I am a graphic designer as well, and I have a business degree background, and if you can do it all and you can do it for yourself, you obviously you get a little bit more of the profit from sales. But in my retirement age, I didn't feel like I needed to work for anyone else anyway, so I thought I will just do it for myself, and it is working out swimmingly well. Okay, so love Mideela. I think her name was Mideela. Love her.
Hello from Sherry from Australia.
Hi, Cheryl. Wow, Australia. Isn't that awesome? Fantastic. Almost worldwide, you know, how we can get so
Kathy's in Illinois.
grouped together. I think it's fantastic. So this is we're really super close to what it looked like last night. Let me see what's...
She says the dye is awesome.
Oh, you like it? Do you have the dye? Who says that?
Darcy.
Darice.
I'm sorry, Diaries. Bad vision.
He said, Darcy, my husband does have bad vision, and the words are really small. Darice, the dye is awesome. Well, thank you. If you get to buy the dye or find the dye, go to my YouTube channel, Tammy. It might be Tammy Louise Cunliffe. Might be Tammy Houghton Cunliffe. I can't remember right this second. Maybe I should just go ahead and look it up on YouTube. Give you guys a link. I've done maybe 10, I don't know, videos on this dye, and it really does help to do it along with somebody else, because you're seeing it in action and you're not on your own trying to figure it out reading directions on the back. So here's one of the tutorials on YouTube that I have, that it's actually for a Lavinia project as well. I think the two work perfect together because your fairies are flying.
Reese says just tag me.
Oh. What did she say?
Just tag me.
Tag her. What does that mean? I don't think I understand what that means. Maybe in the video? Or maybe go to, I don't know what it means. Huh? Tag, you're right. He's funny, ladies. You're in for it now. Darice is up for you. She's gonna give you a what to and a why for. You better watch. Okay, so we're gonna work with Mystic Swirl. I don't know how many of you ladies are married, but I've got 30 years and he's still alive. I think it's because of his sense of humor. Oh, gotta love him. Okay, so we're gonna use, let's see, we actually met each other in high school. Been married 31 years?
No, she said I'm it.
I don't know, 1988. It was a really long time ago. So I'm gonna use, let's do Fantasia for some of the fiery swirls coming from the depths of the redness area. I chose this swirl because it kind of looks like fire flames. It gives you that impression of a lot of movement. So we're going to pop this on here. And let's see. Put a piece of paper under it so it won't make a mess. We're going to put this here. Hold it on there for a second. 47 years. Congratulations, Cheryl. And he's still, you didn't kill him yet. That's good. 32. Oh, see, I was off. Okay. Yay, I love that purple. It's not really a purple, it's something else. But it's beautiful. So we're going to use it again. I do like, I know this is shaking, I'm sorry. I do like symmetry in my projects. So if you put something over to the right, then you need to like offset it with the same sort of color or style over to the left. So we're going to do that. And then I second generation stamped that swirl again in the center, super light, last night. And that's the one that I brought out with some glitter. So that really was nice effect. Okay, we're done with this. The next items were the little birds. Not quite as big of a stamping block for the birds that I used for the, I'm going to use fallen leaves for the birds. I want them to kind of appear in the background. I don't want them to be prominent. Black, the more black and dark and stark it is, the more in front it becomes when you're doing this sort of project. I'm going to off stamp it a little, and I think I put them, I put them right up here. Perfect. And then I also put a few here. These are a little bit closer, obviously, to the dragon because I didn't didn't second generation stamp it. I call it off stamping all the time. I don't know why I do that. But what happens to the birds here? There. That one done. Then I did stamp these. Ladies, if you came in a little bit later than the first few women, I stamped them earlier and I fussy cut them. I did put some glossy accents in the weak areas and now they're like almost plastic. And there's little fairies that sit on the tails. This one, the fairy is sitting inside the wings, but they're fussy cut, and then I put a little bit of VersaFine Claire sponging around the edge because there was some white there that I didn't want to see. It makes it look too stark. So, but we did use these. And I will reuse them with today's project just so that I don't have to fussy cut live with you ladies. That takes a lot of time. But we're down to our last stamp before we get to the funner decorative gel pen work. Let's use these. These are called Mushroom Lantern Set. And I use both. I remember. Okay. This one with the bigger bulb went here. And I stamped that in Nocturne. I like that there's suction on these, but they're a little hard for me to get open. I know some ladies I personally know have some arthritis issues, and they might have a little bit of trouble with those. But I think they work wonderful, so, you know, have somebody else open it for you. Beautiful. I'm going to cover that completely. So in last night's we did one that was up here, we did one that was more in this area, and then we did the small one over to here. I'm going to do that again. There we go. Hold it on there for a minute, let it rest. That ink needs to soak up, and it's sitting on several different layers of colors, so you want it to come out as sharp as you can get, which that was beautiful. Impression. These are nice stamps. Wherever she's having them manufactured and however it is that they're getting all of that detail in there, keep doing it because they're beautiful. And there was some time between opening my store in January and my last actual employment position that I got to make whatever I wanted to make, which was fantastic. I don't know if any of you ladies are on design teams and things like that, but sometimes, you know, you have to work with other products because you want to promote the store products. And you don't really always get a choice in the releases and things like that, and that can be less fun. You don't get quite as much joy out of it, but when there was a gap of time that I got to create whatever the heck I wanted to create, it was fantastic. And I definitely started collecting the Lavinia stamps. I did some Alta New stamps as well because I do love flowers, but then I, for some reason, just didn't get into them. They don't work well with the double dial die, and I thought, I want something that really stands out with this die, so I do these. Oh, I love these. Okay, and then I think I have, let me just check last night's work. I have two over here, one towards the center and one at the top. And I don't think that they were both black. I think I did the top one in Nocturne because what I want to build is a shade of work. This is going to look like a cavern or a cave once you add all the golden meadow versifying really adds that look, and then a little bit of the purple around the edge. And you want it to be like they're in a cavern. Here's the story behind this. Mideela is in a cavern full of flames and fire, and the little baby fairies are flying around with her on their dragons. And then what I think I'll do down here is use Fallen Leaves is the name of the one that I want to put lower, so it looks like it's a little bit more in the distance. Stamp it off quick. There, it doesn't look like it's quite as close up to you. Beautiful, marvelous. Okay, these inks up. You know, they do make a mess if you don't put those lids back on. Tip and trick there. Okay, so we have the stamping. And just verify we did the flames, we did what's hanging. Oh, so I have this Alta New. See if I can pull it out of the drawer for me. This Alta New set of, I tell you the truth, I don't know what they are. It's like a plastic acetate die cuts. So this one came up. That's what I've been using to create the silhouette of a moon around these images. Since we're done stamping, I can put these away. My stamping blocks. Got a lot of things out. Alright, it's one of the Twilight that I used around this line to give it kind of a shade. This is how I store my sponges. Velcro on a Crafty paper cardstock. Alright, now you hold on to the acetate. I want the wings to be beyond and then this to be over here. Okay. Get some ink, wipe it off, make sure you're not too much, and you're going to go from inside to the outside. But I don't want to fill these pads with the blue. I just want the sun to look like a silhouette everywhere else. So super light. I'm barely putting any pressure.
850.
Wow, 850. Okay. So we're getting close to that hour. Which is okay, but I think it stays productive. And people stay interested a little longer when it doesn't last quite so long. So everywhere that I don't have a black stamp, like way over here, even pull it out a little bit more just to make it look a little more natural. There we go. And then lift it up and you get the silhouette of the sun, or the moon actually. It's probably a moon, it's at night. While I have this out, let's see, this is the medieval. Alright. We're going to work with Fantasia. Next, it's purple. I'm going to cover the dial. Now my screen is froze. Are you still working?
I see it.
That's weird. Ladies, are you still with me? I'm going to refresh just in case.
First time you're here, I'm absolutely mesmerized by what you're doing.
Oh, that's great. I'm really glad to hear it. Who said that?
Shore Robertson.
Okay.
And Kathy Myers says we're good.
Oh, okay. Well, I did just refresh mine because it was frozen. It was kind of just that little wheel. Alright, since I want the purple to match the edge of the frame, I'm going to use this VersaFine on the die cut. This is the double dial die wheel. Because you don't want something white to be hanging out of your project. You want it to kind of blend in. So that's done, and then we're also going to, I'm going to do this little arm that we use on the double dial, just to kind of fade that white out. And then I will show you ladies how the real magic begins when you go barely in to the edge I'd love to know what site you ladies found me from. Kind of helps me to understand which Facebook groups, you know, are really active. I want to include as many groups as I can so that people can learn. I love teaching the craft. So I want it to stay red, but I want it to be a little bit of yellow.
She has to call some.
Okay, bye, Kathy. Yeah, the replay will be on my Facebook page, no problem. I think there's some groups that some of you ladies are in also that it'll have replay on there. Just put a little bit of yellow, a little bit of purple on the yellow as well. And then come up this side. Remember, we're trying to build a cavern. It was nice having you in the group anyway. Okay. Golden Meadow is our next color, and it's a VersaFine Clear. I love this ink. Blends really well. Now this is going to make it look less of a sunrise and more of a moon cast, because it takes away some of the brightness of that lemony yellow and it turns it more golden. Ladies, that's the project. The coloring of it. I do have a few ink pens and gels that I will show you. Actually, what happened to it? Oh, here it is. I got these in yesterday in the mail. I thought, oh, how fun.
I cut my eye for the video and dye. That made it worth watching.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Cheryl DeBola's watching.
What? Cheryl DeBola? Yeah. Isn't that a woman you know?
Yeah,
from Crafty. Yeah. Hi, Cheryl. Okay, so I got these pens in. Sorry, it's an Anchiza set of metallic gel pens. And what I did last night, let me see, got it upside down. I went in and I put red in the center, purple, yellow, blue, and orange. And I'll show you how easy that is. These rolled on so nice. I love these pens. I'm going to be using them forever. And I think they were $11. I mean, they were really inexpensive. I got them from Amazon. Look how fun. Dot, dot, dot. And then it just adds this. They look like gems. Let me see if I can get this close up enough to the camera area.
Nice to see some showcasing new things for a change for them.
Oh, has there been a lot of repeat and repeat and repeat? I always like to try and get some new products. I always like to work with something that not only I enjoy, but I think, you know, there's a lot of potential for growth. There, can you see the gems? Aren't they pretty? Perfect. Okay, so I added red there. We won't do all of them today because I want to get to the assembly of the die. And he said it was super close to 9.
Boring.
Huh?
Yes, boring, Eileen says.
Oh, yeah, those are no fun. So I just varied the color. I wanted, it's got a lot of red down here and a lot of yellow up here, so I wanted to add a little yellow here and here and reds up here. Symmetry in your projects are important. It makes the eye focus more on the center of the project. So I did that, and then I do want to show you. This is a Zentangle pen that I got from Amazon, and I will share the link. Let me look that up real quick. because this is the finest tip white gel pen I have ever found, and it is stark white. Let me go white gel. Where is it? Here is a link to these pens. If the moon is behind them, the silhouette is forward. Everywhere that you can feel that the moon would shine, is where you want to add the white. Now I froze again. Are you still live, James?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you sell your craft stores? Sell to craft stores?
Do I sell to craft stores? You mean the dye that I'm working with? I do sell in craft stores online. I sell my projects sometimes to a retail store in Belleville, Michigan. My local craft store, although right now
Try and get my favorite store to order your dye.
I would approve of that. That would be fine. They can contact me at TLC, and then my last name is Cunliffe at yahoo.com. Just go right to my Facebook page and it'll lead you to how to contact me. See, my screen is frozen again. Wonder why mine's doing that and yours isn't.
I'm special.
You're special. Yeah, he's special, alright. Alright. So, I don't know if you noticed, let me show you some of the other shading that I did. These long orbs that are going to kind of be hanging from the top of the cavern, I wanted them to really pop out of the scene. So I put white on the one side, the same side each one. And then on the orb itself, this one kind of crossed over so that it appears in the front of this one. Oh, here, I know, I just noticed that I didn't put it on the bottom one, which is what I really want. There. So, and then over here I did it the opposite side because the light is coming from the center section, and this is going to be the dark side and this is going to be the dark side of each orb. So I did that, and then that's this. Look at this pen. This is a fantastic pen. I love it. Then I have, it comes with, I think it's a set of silver, gold, and white, the same pen set. I added gold dots to the foliage on the bottom here. Just adds an extra sparkle, which I think is really important in these, with this particular project, because this is fantasy. This is like your fairyland. I don't know if any of you collect fairies. I happen to. I love them. And you want it to look magical. Everything is sparkly. Everything is iridescent. This I just found is a quickie glue. And when I learned, I don't remember, I think it was Tracy that I watched from Lavinia Stamps. This glue is awesome.
Name of pen set, please.
Huh?
So let's know the name of the pen set.
I put a link up above. It says Amazon link. You should be able to find it there.
Eileen says, have fairy garden all over my backyard. Love it.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful? I dig a fairy. One of these days, I'm gonna go live and try and... So I just put a few dots of this And then I just got some old glitter. I mean, like old. 10 years plus, easily. Oops. I'm dumping stuff out. Okay, so I'm going to put this inside my little blue. I don't know what these are. Glitter trays. I don't know if anybody ever uses these anymore. It's so old. And then I'm going to sprinkle the glitter on there. You want most of the excess to come off. And you can even like get a little brush and take it off the sections that you didn't put the dots. There. I just want those little dots, and then I want to show you how pretty that turns out. Let me see if I can get that in the camera. I'm holding it up to the camera now, but we're on like a delay. Can you see those glitter dots? Aren't they cute? Okay, so we're going to put that away. Let's assemble the die. Put the glitter up.
Yep, mine's red.
Huh?
Eileen says mine's red. Carolyn says pretty.
Thank you. I think it's nice too, Carolyn. I love these projects. Okay, so let's assemble the die. The first step, if you read the back of the die package, let me just get that out to show you just how simple it is to follow. Oops. Step number 1, we're going to take the dial, and we're going to take the arm, and one of the holes of the arm goes into the center hole of the dial, and you grab a brad. I can't seem to find the hole. There you go. I recommend very flat brads. These are from Spare Parts, Paper Studios. I think it's a Hobby Lobby brand, or I don't know, Joanne Fabrics brand, I'm not sure. Any color, because it doesn't matter. This one is super flat. You can see that flower is really, really flat. So that helps all of the movement, because you don't want to add too much dimension to this. Flatten it down. There we go. Now, another tip or trick. The arm itself is this shape. If you cut a wedge into it and put 2 of them together, you have a tool that makes it super easy to leave enough room when you open the wings of the brad for everything to move. You just put your tool in, open your brad, take the tool out, and it's done. Super, super easy. You don't have to worry about pinching that or making it too tight anymore. That's gone. So step number 2, brad 2 goes through the frame and the dial with the head up. So the center hole, or the bottom hole of the dial. Now what I made yesterday is what I did. Another tip. I used black Copic ink on a round dial so that it would kind of fade away. You wouldn't even be able to see it in the card. Today I'm just going to use a purple one. I'll fix it before I take pictures with this project, but just for the sake of getting this created. I know I have a few people that are watching right now that own this die. I bet Connie hasn't tried it yet, but she has the die, so maybe this will help her get some incentive. You just put this through, you put it through the frame first. Here I am talking too much and not concentrating. Frame first. Dial. Tool. Open your brad. Take the tool out. Every time you add another step, just test it. This is flying really easy. Okay. Step number 3. Put the brad through a washer. Put that brad through the slot. And then through the dial. So that's super easy too. It sounds really complicated, but it's not. Grab one of your washers. These are the little baby washers. Put your brad in the hole. And the holes are already pre-cut, which comes in handy. put the whole thing right there. Okay? Flip this over. Take your dial and the end hole. Use your tool. Open the brad. Remove tool. You want to test it. Because if it's tight at all, you want to loosen that up. That's fine, good. Oh, apologize, ladies. I forgot the last washer. We're just going to add that on top of there because paper slides better with paper. That's probably why it wasn't working as well as it could. There you go. Ta-da! Goes all the way down the bottom, all the way to the top. Last one. Step number 4. Grab another brad. I'm going to stick with purple. The brad through the center of the hole. My fingernails are too long for this. There. Brad through the center. Put the brad through the slot. Flip it over. The other arm is what's going to make this go up and down. Put that through. Don't forget your washer this time. And then the tool. Pull your tool out. Do the test. If it's too tight, which this one is, pull it just a little. Loosen that up. Sometimes this paper still, there might be a little bit of glitter there too. You gotta watch where you put the glitter. Otherwise, wonder why, what's going on with this one? Oh, the paper's a little weak under here. No, it is definitely the glitter. I've got too much glitter under there. There we go. Scrape some of that glitter off. Let me do it with this one. I'd have to play with it for just a few minutes. This one works perfect. I don't have any glitter there. Then all you have to do, ladies, is apply your images. Let me put a little bit of tape on her. There. Wonder if it's this one. Just keep in mind it is paper. We're going to play with this one instead. I would have to figure out what's going on with that one, and sometimes it's tricky. Most of the time they go right together. Put a little bit of tape on her. Put him on here. This one I bumped up on a pop dot, and 2 and leaving the cover on the second one so it just helps it slide. And there you have the perfect movement. The fairies are flying. You can put them however direction you want them. That's it, ladies. I do want to mention, and it's just temporarily glued, but I do want to mention that the May release is not going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to do it as soon as possible. Hopefully before the end of next week we'll do a May release on design papers, and I'm going to have one more image in the store. We are this weekend joining Lavinia World with the double dial die, so if you shop there, that's fantastic. James, pick a number between 1 and 10 and just give it to me. What is it? 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eileen Patterson is the winner of a digital image from TLCdesigns.com. .shop, sorry. So Eileen, private message me so that I know if you want me to send it to your email, I can do it there. Ladies, I have a freebie in the shop if you're not yet someone that stopped in and subscribed to the newsletters and new releases and things like that. There's a freebie that you can go. It's a sentiment set for staying strong during the the world event we're all going through.
Thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I always do a giveaway at the end of all of my lives. I do a live at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday night. So please don't hesitate to come and join me. Grab a cup of coffee, sit down and have a conversation with my husband and get silly. Giggle a little, give us a few recommendations. I, usually have a lot of tips and tricks, and I do try new stuff. So if you're interested in that, to sit and have an hour leisurely time, join me. I love getting together to do this. So that is the update for now, and I certainly hope to see you all again. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't hesitate to get that double dial die out.
I'm glad she found you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Try the Lavinia stamps. It's super easy, ladies. I've done it with 3 or 4 different types of backgrounds and different inks. I haven't messed up yet. So as far as I'm concerned, they work with everything. Huh? Perfect time for Aussies. That's great. I know UK is kind of an off hour for 8 o'clock. So, you can always get the playbacks, which I think is great. I'm in a bunch of different groups that I watch, playbacks on, because I can't always be everywhere all at one time. So have a fantastic weekend. May is here. Things are hopefully going to be getting better soon for everybody. I don't like to dwell on what's going on that's wrong. I want to stay positive. I love to find joy. The birds are coming out, things like that. So we will talk to you again soon. Have a great night.